passive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
This cannot possibly be. Off on another.
Is she growing Punja's onion again?
Good morning, Professor Garlic.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease. Reparo! I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting dittany.
I wonder if hippogriffs like...
Yes, Professor.
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm.
How kind of you. It seems you're already taking to herbology like a mandrake to fresh soil. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already...
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful. A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to plant the seeds then.
Let's see how to balance my star thistle arrangement. Niffler's
Dittany's restorative properties make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion, as you all should know from Professor Sharp's class. done. Once it can be harvested, your Dittany will be ready to use. Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora. The Chinese chomping cabbage. The cabbages do get...
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you.
Hello. Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing you the Chinese chomping cabbage. Nice work in Defense Against the Dark Arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian! And he's good. Thinks he's really good. But you outright slaughtered him. Here we are. Home of the Chinese chomping... Go on. Grab a few... Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it, and they'll do the rest.
I'm sorry. What do I need to do?
Garlic said she wanted you to have a go at tending the cabbages. Give them some time to chomp and whatnot. Nothing to it, really. Just toss some of those Chinese chomping cabbages.
I'm sorry. What do I need to do?
Garlic said she wanted you to have a go at tending the cabbages. Give them some time to chomp and whatnot. Nothing to it, really. Just toss some of those Chinese chomping cabbages out. You'll see fairly quickly why we call them that. Look at that! They'll chomp on anything we can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the de-gnoming, but they left her honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? Not saying you can't go it alone.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
It's chaos out there. Trolls in Hogsmeade and such. You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and Deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
And with that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves.
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be...
Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that...
Hope those mandrakes are really relishing their new pots. Only cost me my damned hearing.
Nobody can do a hit like me.
There's something in there, I just know it.
is.
Levioso!
Professor Sharp's desk. I bet he knows more than he's letting on about the Goblin Rebellion.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As fifth years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wiggenweld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Points for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a Wiggenweld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin. Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients. You must stir your cauldron in the correct direction. Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous. I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippins, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain. Come and see me when you...
My parents considered keeping me home from school this year after the rumors of a Goblin Rebellion. Professor Sharp must have learned a lot during his time as an Auror. I wish he talked about it.
Did I hear Professor Sharp say that you have permission to go into his office?
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented with an extraordinary opportunity. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew it. I simply need a single Fwooper feather, as you'll already be in Sharp's office with his...
I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it.
I assure you he won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Wait until you see what I'm brewing. Hurry back to me when you have the feather.
A well-prepared potion should not be that color, Miss McDowell.
Here's the Whopper feather you wanted.
Brilliant! Thank you! This is going to take a moment to brew. You should get back to brewing your Endurance potion, and I'll tell you when this concoction's finished.
Should you chop the Didney or crush it? The wrong answer could result in the unfortunate loss of your eyebrows.
And now we add the mallow sweet, and... That's odd. What's happening? Wait, it's not supposed to... Ah! Get it! Dragon Star! What happened?
Well done, Gareth.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again. Mr. Weasley did not do this on his own. His accomplice will answer to me as well.
I brewed an Endurance potion as you asked, Professor.
I'm surprised you had the time. You seemed rather busy helping Mr. Weasley brew chaos.
I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend.
Taking responsibility for one's actions does go a long way with me. I shall assume that you've learnt a lesson. As for the work you did today at your own cauldron, I will say you've done well. I confess I was skeptical, given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not... In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, that'll be all. I think each of us has had enough excitement for one day. Class is dismissed.
Wasn't expecting that literally to blow up in my face. It was rather brilliant, though. I'd better clean up. You should finish brewing your potion.
Ugh, my robes are going to reek from Gareth's inspiration for the rest of term.
Fine job brewing your first Wiccanweld potion. But there are many potions yet to learn. This is going to be a busy year.
Heard you're defending Hogsmeade against trolls. You know, there is such a thing as trying too hard.
Might some kind soul help me?
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Incendio. Levioso.
What are you up to now?
Must we go back to practicing our skill? I cannot do this for all eternity. May we talk about this? I'm sorry.
This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Hello, Natty. How are you? I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade.
I am well, but I have been worried about you, my friend. With Ranrock and Rookwood and Harlow after you?
I'm all right at the moment.
We did not speak about it at the time, but I am hoping now you might tell...
They want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts.
When were you at Gringotts?
Just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, a portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage.
What?
There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic. I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot.
It is. For now, it is. I realized something that you displayed such... Both of you have it.
What sort of stuff?
Men like Rook. I am not...
Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well...
Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations.
That may be true.
I spoke with her. She was polite. I overheard some of I was thinking...
All right, but how?
I am good. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you.
Be on your guard.
I beg your pardon. How dare you threaten me?
What's going on here?
They must have come this way. Think!
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student? You can't be...
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
I've seen you!
Leviosa! Incendio! Potato!
Look what you've done! You paid for that!
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes. You know we're not... We can hold them off!
I'm not going anywhere.
You'll take this student on the dead body! How does that feel?
You little brat!
Better luck next time!
Knew you were still hanging about.
What on earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why two Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You're a researcher?
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Merlin? Of the legend of King Arthur?
The very same. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has its symbol in the center.
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the mallow sweet on the swirl, and we'll see what happens. Did you see that? The vines disappeared.
What should I do now?
This is uncharted territory. I am curious about these pyres.
Levioso!
Perhaps a spell might help us here.
Incendio! The flames make the pyre sink.
Curious. The pyres are back where they started. What a day. I can hardly believe it.
I take it we can call that a success?
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precise. You should feel free to solve them as you come. My guess is, which you can... And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
Greetings. I understand you're quite the enterprising young Ravenclaw. Professor Fig tells me you found a long-lost book for him. I'd like to talk to you about it.
This looks intriguing.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before.
Revelio. Who lived here, I wonder? Hogsmeade, here I come.
Good of you to come. My friend, Professor Fig, speaks highly of you and your resourcefulness. He was vague as to details, but mentioned your having tracked down a difficult-to-find book. I wondered if you'd be willing to do a little detective work on my behalf.
I suppose I could. But why should I spend my time on a glorified errand?
It is much more than a glorified errand, to be sure. I dare say you'll find my proposal intriguing. Please, hear me out. You see, about a century ago, an heirloom applewood wand with a fairy wing core went missing from this very shop. My great-aunt suspected a student named Richard Jackdaw. He'd been serving as an assistant here and suddenly vanished.
Richard?
Like the bird. In fact, he was known to... We did find a series of statues similar to Jackdaw's. I'm certain they're a clue, but I cannot figure out where they lead. Jackdaw was last heard tittering about some pages with a map he'd stolen from...
Surely you could continue searching the owlery.
Oh, one would think. However, the headmaster does not take kindly to an old wand maker loitering about the place. Also, I happen...
Is there anything special about the wand?
Oh, yes. It's terribly special. But not in the way you might think. It won't grant special powers to the caster, no. Nothing like that. But it will ease the hearts and minds of the Ollivanders to know of its return. And that power is immeasurable.
Why would the thief have taken the wand?
I must admit I have no idea. From what I can gather, he fancied him, always looking for trouble. In fact, never heard much about him. Perhaps he thought that the wand had some special power simply because of its esteemed lineage. Astonishing how misunderstood the art of wand making is.
I'll have a look for you. You've certainly given me plenty to go on.
Ah, you've brought hope to this.